Hi there. How we doing, folks?
Good. How are you?
Nice. I'm not the only one in here. I see Evan Bowers, Penny, and Isaiah. Welcome, everybody.
I have a grandson with me that's in a bouncer right now, so I might be a little distracted, but I'll be paying attention.
Fair enough. No problem at all. You'll have to forgive me while I get my audio set up here. I've got a speaker in the background that I need to turn off. I should be able to hear you just fine coming through the laptop here.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Well, what I'll do, just to be cordial for everyone, is I'll give everyone just a chance to kind of pop in, and then whenever I feel that there's a good back with my core folks here, I'll just get started with just a little PowerPoint presentation that I made for you guys. Is everyone able to hear me okay, at least?
Yes, I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. I can hear you loud and clear too. And Evan, I can see you've been on silent. That's totally fine. Isaiah, I can see you guys are on silent. Hopefully you can hear me okay. If there's any issues with the audio, feel free to converse with me in the chat section. Anyone can type in there at any time, and then I can, kind of answer any questions in there that pop up if someone doesn't necessarily just want to chat. Perfect. Thanks, Ev. So let's see if I can. Perfect. What I would like to do is share this, as a background. Yeah, beautiful. So that way I can present to you guys.
How you doing, Coach?
Hey, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Of
Nice to see you, Logan. Thanks for coming in.
course. I think everybody except for Gavin will be on. I was just talking to all of them.
Oh, cool, cool. Hey, that's awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we got a whole Snapchat group chat going, so
That's the way to do it. That's the way to
yeah.
do it. So far, Logan, the 17U team, I'm loving what I'm seeing, like commitment wise. Like on the low end, it's looking like we should have between 10 and 12 guys, for practices and competition, which is beautiful because I was going to cap this team at 14. You know what I mean? So in the very
Yeah.
beginning stages here, there's already 12 young men here that are like, I want to be a part of this. You know what I mean? So that leaves two open roster spots for competition. And then, the goal is to try and not cut those that are committed and want to pour themselves into this because part of this presentation I'm going to give here is, for the Kings of the North travel program to work, everyone has to kind of like give up a little something. There's always a little sacrifice involved because of all the sports and stuff that's going on. So just the fact that we have 12, give or take, to work with for the 17U team is like, it's a godsend. It's a really
No, dude.
incredible start. You guys should have a lot to be excited about. Now, my 14U team, right now, I'm like
Yeah.
between 5 and 6 consistent there. I did talk with Brady Hutchinson, my quarterback, and his dad last night, and we're going to be recruiting pretty hard in the Brewer area. So we should be padding the numbers for our 14U team here because I want to get that middle school team up and running as well. But so far, between 17U and 14U, I'm looking at about 18 or so that have said, yeah, I'd like to be a part of this. So that's an incredible start. From where this all started from, you guys. I'll give you guys a little brief backstory here in just a few moments and everything, but we were struggling at one point to travel 10 kids to New York City to play in a tournament. So the fact that we have, this many potentials to start with is a really exciting time, to be honest with you. So let me see who all we've got in here so far. Oh, nice. Quite a few. Quite a few. Good deal. Okay. Well, if everyone doesn't mind, I think what I'll do just to be prudent for time is I'll go ahead and start presenting everything. And then if I kind of need to circle back through and just, present it again, I will. So that way everyone that popped in had a chance to kind of get, the nitty gritty, feel like they're informed and know what's going on. And then, they can part ways. No one has to feel like they have to stay the whole time. I just really wanted this to be kind of a Q&A session for everyone. So can everyone see my screen right now?
Yes.
We could see this
Yeah.
first page of this slideshow here,
Mhm.
hopefully. So you'll have to forgive me, everyone. I'm not a professional slideshow developer here, but this is the Kings of the North program. This started in 2022. Okay. Very first team went to New York City. So we are the first traveling 7v7 program from Maine to compete in the most prestigious tournament series in the world, Pylon 7 on 7. That will always be stamped in history. That team right there will always go down in history in Maine, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
because Pylon is the best of the best.
Uh,
If you want to say that you're really, really good at football and you're a 5-star recruit or you're an Arch Manning type of guy, you go to Pylon and you show your stuff and you compete. That team right there, I'll get emotional about that team till I get old, went and battled teams of upwards of 60 kids. 60. We saw kids coming off sear buses with travel duffel bags and everything like what you'd see for LSU, for God's sakes. And then here I am with what, my 14 guys I brought? And how many of them were freshmen at that time? Right, Dale? I see you're
yeah,
here. You and
exactly,
Mike, I see you're
exactly.
here. Right? You guys were there. So this pilot, this group of brave young men were the start of something that I really feel it's on me to help carry the torch forward. And then obviously, the next generation of kings, it's on you guys furthermore. So, you know, the code of kings here, I don't have a mission statement. I got away from healthcare. I don't like all that stuff, but this is who we are at a cellular level. So through our active commitment to one another and the process, which my guys know the process, we will build up our program from the root level. Our focus now and has always been on you guys, the athletes, first and foremost. Without each and every one of you, this little dream of mine, it doesn't come to the light of day. And this dream of you guys is of playing competitive 7-on-7, it doesn't happen without each and every one of you. So for us to have the privilege of physically doing this, like for this to actually come to light and not just be a little idealistic manifestation without the physical side of it, like for us to actually make this happen and not just be an idea, we have to have buy-in. And I don't just mean with money. Like this is the most cost-friendly travel program in the world. No one else is as cheap as we are. So it's not like, you have to buy in that way. You've got to buy in with your heart, soul, and a little bit of your time and dedication. So at Kings of the North Football, we choose to adhere to a code of ethics and conduct that represents not only the program, but my business, QB1 Incorporated. Those guys who know me and know how I do business, I like to think of myself as a physical representation of Maine on and off the field. I take pride in that, and you guys should take pride in being a king. Whenever people play against us, they go, oh, wow, so that's what people in Maine are like, right? So whenever we were there with 14 kids playing against teams of 60, some of us had bloody noses, some of us threw punches, like, and we were competing, losing by a touchdown, maybe, right? Take pride in leaving a stamp in people's memory of like, whoa, those kids from Maine were pretty raw, like that's who we are. We get to represent not only my brand, but like we get to represent Maine, which we should always take pride in that. So just know that nothing in life that's worth having comes for free, guys. There's most definitely a cost for anything, right? That's worth having. So the cost is you. Can you commit to the program? Can you commit to the guys next to you or in the Snapchat group, right? And not ghost them whenever they're like, hey guys, numbers are low today. What's going on? Right? Everyone sees the message, but does everyone reply? You know what I mean? Can you commit
Mm.
to one another? And then lastly, can you commit to yourself? How many times do we say, oh, I want to do something, but maybe we don't really, really want that thing, right? When we commit to something, when we commit to saying, I'm going to do this, whenever we're traveling with a team of 10 or 14 people, you can't just not, go anymore. It breaks up the fabric of the team. So we're looking for guys that are willing to commit to us, commit to the program, and commit to yourself. Like chase the best version of yourself here with this program. If you start something, finish it. Come out of it better than the way that you started. You know what I mean? That's just a little bit about us. That is our code of kings. So if you could kind of get down with this, then we implore you to join our family and then we welcome you to Kings of the North. Because if you're okay with this, you're going to be just fine with us. So any questions at all on the code, just real quick? It's pretty
We're
straightforward.
good.
I feel like it's kind of,
We're good.
Boy Scoutish, but it's pretty straightforward. Cool. So about us, why choose to become a king and play for Kings of the North? Like, what's so special about us? What's so special about me? Well, first of all, I mean, we first traveled to New York City in 2022, played in one of the biggest five versus five flag tournaments in the Northeast region. That was sponsored by Zort Sports. That's pretty cool. Not many kids from Maine can say, hey, yeah, I went to upstate New York City and played against inner city kids, in a flag tournament. That's a cool experience. Next thing on our resume, I mean, we went to the Pylon 77 regional tournament in New Jersey the
That
next
was
year. We
awesome.
really stepped it up a notch.
That
We
was
really
awesome.
took a step up and went and put ourselves on the map there to where I mean, I'm still hit up by the director of Pylon all the time. Where are the Kings at? We missed the Kings. We loved you guys. What's going on? You got to come back. Like we set a precedent there that people are excited to see where that goes, and that's exciting to have been a part of that. So, and annually we travel to other, New England areas for competition. The one that's cool to mention is the NOS Elite tournament in 2023, which was a team that we met at the Pylon tournament in New Jersey. And we had a great competition with them. And they actually ended up knocking us out, because we were going to keep going in that tournament. And then they were like, you know what? You guys should come and play in our tournament. You guys were great competition. And we gave them everything they could handle at their own tournament, including beating a very respected team from Connecticut. Yes, we beat a team from CT. My 14 kids from Maine. We did that. So why play for us? Because any of those three experiences above would be a privilege for any of your kids from Maine to have. Like, why would you not want to be a part of that? And then New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts. A lot of kids from Maine haven't been outside of Maine for. What a cool opportunity, to check off some boxes and see some different parts of the world with your bros, with your coach, with your parents. The travel environment with the parents and the kids, I've never experienced anything like it. I can't wait to get my family back involved with it, my kids, go door knocking, playing pranks on each other for God's sakes, asking the clerk at the front desk for cookies when we know they're not going to make us cookies, guys.
Hey, we
It's
had two
all
young
fun and
kids there.
games. It's a blast. It's honestly a blast. I've missed it so much. I honestly can't wait for it to be back in my life. So, like, I mean, that's why I choose the Kings because it's all about the experience and the fun and the memories that will never, ever disappear. Even dementia is going to have a tough time taking some of the memories from me on these trips. Trust me. So, athletes that perform well at these events, too, guys, not to sound like a cheap car salesman, but like, guys, if you want to play in college and pros, you need to be playing for Kings of the North. Athletes that perform well at these events are oftentimes recruited by recruiting outlets, and that is directly from Prep Red Zone scout Roger Silva. This is his business card. If you think I'm playing, this was given to me directly at the tournament that we performed in. Jack Brewer was recruited at that tournament. He plays for Macalester University in Minnesota at this time. So if you want a
That's my
case
guy.
study, yeah, buddy. If you
That's
want a
right,
case
Logan.
study about can this even really get me recruited, ask Jack Brewer, ask Roger Silva, ask the coaching staff from Macalester University. You do not need an NCSA account to get recruited, guys, and you don't need to pay out the wazoo, to go play college football. Make some friends and play some travel football with me. Every once in a while, maybe do some trading with me. I've got some stuff to offer. You know what I mean? We can get you to where you want to go. So, another selling point, get coached by the best. See that picture in the middle? Yes, that's yours truly. But it's not just me anymore, guys. It's not just me anymore, guys. I am
Number
so
three.
freaking excited. Going from left to right here, Kadeem Edge, okay? That is a wide receiver, number 81. I played with him at Hudson University. He set records at Hudson University as a receiver. He's 6'5", can jump out the roof. He can still dunk. He played semi-pro ball for the Seahawks. That was, I believe, in the New Hampshire region. And then he has continued to train athletes privately as a receivers coach, and he owns Pro Edge Fitness. He's a private trainer. He can get your kids right. You know what I mean? That is one of the coaches that's on our coaching staff this year. Logan Stewart, number 44. That's my best man in my wedding. I played with him at Hudson University. He was a starter as a running back and a safety. Not many people play on both sides of the football. Travis Hunter, is a stud. He's just one of those guys, super athletic. He can offer your kids so much in regards to running routes, catching balls, being a running back, getting through the hole, high knee drives, defense, defensive back IQ. He is such an incredible asset to our team. I can't wait to have him. He has a very young baby, so he's going to be involved as much as he can. But that is another coach that may be coming with us and traveling. And then you go over to the picture that's quickly adjacent to my right there. That's myself and my very first client, Austin CV, who ended up going to the Shrine Bowl, played a little bit of college football. He's coaching currently at Foxcroft Academy as an offensive coordinator. He will also be an assistant coach for me and is going to be helping coach from time to time, maybe traveling, coaching with us, practicing during the sessions. So at any given time during practice, guys, you may have Kadeem running routes with you guys and coaching you. Logan Stewart, running routes with you guys, coaching you. Me throwing to you guys, coaching the quarterbacks, participating. Austin jumping in line, but also being a coach. And then the next one over is Caden Crocker, stud of an athlete. Also, one of my clients was on a full ride to play at I think it was a D2 school in New Hampshire, but he ended up at Husson now, which is what's most important. He's at Husson now. He's a current player on the Husson team, and he's going to be working with us, coming to run routes, being a coach, being an asset to the program. So it's not just me. You know what I mean? Like, mm-mm. That flew before, but not anymore. We're going to do this like the pros do. We're going to come with a arsenal of excellent coaches for you guys to be able to pick our brains from, but at the same time to be able to hype you guys up, on game day and like hold you guys accountable and be your disciplinary mentors, but at the same time be the big bros that are in your corner to help hype you up, right? Because when it's just me alone, that is tough. I'll give you credit. But the beautiful thing is, I see dads right here, right now, that have been involved in the past. Dale and Mike, I'm talking to you guys, quite clearly, but Fred, you know, I see that you're here listening, my friend. Logan, your mother, I implore her, to get a little bit involved in what we're doing. Penny, it's so nice to have you here, right? Evan, your folks, the Bauer family. What I'm getting at is if we can make a family approach to this, not that like everyone could be a part of my coaching staff, but the more families that are involved in this and travel, and if we get houses together like Airbnbs, instead of going the hotel route, it actually becomes a lot more of a family friendly event than you think. And it's quite affordable doing it that way. So when it comes time to us talking about these tournaments that we want to do and these aspirations, if I can get as many parents to try and come and make like a trip out of this as possible and not just, think, I mean, I've got this, don't get me wrong, but if it's just me and, 15 teenagers, that can be a lot better experience, believe me. Sometimes going and being a part of that, Dale and Mike can attest to this, and their kids didn't even play. Making a family trip of this, going to the meals, eating the dinner with the guys and like just having a good time, the camaraderie is I can't, there's
It
no
was
recipe that can touch that.
it
So
was
I
definitely
highly
awesome,
encourage.
that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like there's no atmosphere that's like that. The travel football and taking the big group pictures out in the parking lot with all of us. There's nothing like that. And if your kids are a part of this, I implore you parents, get involved. Why not? So on that note, practice schedule. Can we even do this? We start December 3rd. We go to August 1st. Yes, you can do this. I don't want to hear excuses about, well, my kid's pretty involved in a winter sport. What about spring? What about summer? We go December 3rd to August 1st. There's no excuse that's
So
going to work for me. There's
business
none
plan
that's going to work for
every
me
day.
because this isn't just winter sport. They can join us in baseball season because we are going to be playing tournaments throughout the year. So that way, those who join in and join the flow can integrate. Now, those who want to be a part of this from day one and ride the whole season out, I implore you because that train is going to be fun, boys. I'm telling you, it's going to be a ride.
Whoop,
So,
whoop.
December 3rd is when we start this next Wednesday. Concludes the 1st of August. I cannot justify taking away from these young men when August hits, guys. I understand. You know what I mean? When August comes, it's about the program. So, guys, I cut you loose come August 1st, but until then, we're gonna be grinding. So every Wednesday, 6 to 7:30 is a practice schedule. Okay. Now, indoor, it's gonna be at the Jim Robinson Fieldhouse, and I already have that booked all the way through April. Outdoor, we shift over to the Setamocha Middle School soccer fields, which is right adjacent to their playgrounds and all that good stuff. So, practices. We'll talk about the expectations in just a minute. But just know that that is the schedule and it's always happening. It's not going to change. So then it's consistent. You can be like, all right, so I know Wednesday is King's night. You can work around that. Tournament schedule. Out of state tournaments to be determined. That's what TBD stands for. Okay. The tournament series, guys, ramps up in February, March, April, and May. Most of these most of these tournaments aren't even advertised yet. They're not even listed yet. They haven't even been released. So we have a little time here to find out, first and foremost, who are our committed guys? Who is really about this? Who's dedicated? Who is willing to make this work? And then with our coaching staff and with our players and our parents involved, we could chase after tournaments. We could chase after tournaments and we can go for the ones that we want to because we're starting this early enough and we're integrating as a family to where there's no reason why we cannot accommodate as many people as possible and get as many people as possible to this and involve as many people as possible in that process. It just has to be about early communication. And that's why I'm starting now. This is the earliest we've ever started. That's why it starts now. So, Maine tournaments, this is what we have to look forward to right now. Like, this is already in the books, guys. So, I've already booked the turf January 3rd, February 21st, March 21st, and April 4th for the Blizzard Battle. So, that was loved. That was loved. It's a one-on-one tournament. You can have a team of 4 guys, but it is an awesome opportunity for a quarterback and 3 of his buddies to just try and compete and run some 1v1s all day long and just grind. Those
Yep.
guys that are playing on my travel team, they're going to have a little bit of an advantage because some of the things we're practicing, some of the terminology, some of the plays. If you group up with some of those guys and go and compete in the one-on-one tournament, you could just be like, "Hey, let's do Houston," and you're already going to know like what that is for a route combination. You don't need to be like, maybe we should run like a hitch and go or something." You know what I mean? Like how most one-on-one tournaments go. So like us actually having this organized team approach to go and play in out of state 7-on-7s. When I'm having all of my 1v1 opportunities over the winter, January 3rd, February 21st, March 21st, April, guys, you can come to those and run, train. Come win the belt every single time and start a little collection for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, come to the 1v1 tournament and assert your dominance every single time and have some fun with it. Because that, like, I'm creating the stage for you guys to have fun and just like show off all the hard stuff you're working on, right? And then we will be having a season finale tournament this year. We're going to host it. Going to be at Setamocha. It's going to be a big outdoor tournament. I'd like to do it in July at the end of the summer, make it really fun, make it a big event where a bunch of teams from out of state, maybe in state, come to. And that'll be something for us to really look forward to celebrate your effort over the course of the season. And there will be no fees or anything for that. The fees that you guys pay to be a part of the team, be a part of the thing, that's going to cover being a part of that season finale tournament. Like you won't have to pay any of that. But just for example, the Blizzard Battle, those one-on-one tournaments, like guys, if you're interested in those, like that will be something that you have to pay for, like just an entrance fee. It's not crazy. When you split it with your buddies, I think it's gonna be like $25 a kid or something. So just bear in mind those 1v1 opportunities will not be expensive, but I've just got to price it out a little bit so that I don't lose money on booking the turf. So here's the cost breakdown because everyone's like, all right, how much is this gonna cost me, man? Like this all sounds great, but like what are we talking? $200. $200 and your athlete can come to any and every single practice from December 3rd through August 1st. That is the cheapest price in existence. It's ridiculous. Guys, it's over 30 practices. Like if you go every Wednesday from December 3rd all the way through like August 1st, I think it's like 29 or 30 practices. It's like $7 a practice. It's stupid. It's honestly redonkulous. I price this to a point where if guys say, "Nah, it costs too much," it almost is like, "Nah, I can't. I'm not buying it," because this is the cheapest thing it could ever be. Honestly, they can come to every single practice or come to the ones you want. It doesn't matter. But $200, your dues are paid. You're on the team. You're on the team. You're on the program. You can come to every practice. You can compete. You can grind. You can travel, play in the tournaments. Uniform package. It's $150. $150 gets you a compression jersey.
I got mine over there.
Is there a question?
Yeah.
No, okay. So $150 gets you the jersey, the matching shorts that go with it. You also get the travel sweatshirt, which for you guys is going to be all black. The coach's one is going to be black and white, like mine is.
We already got the sweatshirt.
You guys are going to be getting a travel
I'm gonna tell him right
pant
now.
as well, travel pant.
I'll ask him.
And then I'll show you the bag as well.
We need
So
the
you have
bag.
to bear in mind, guys, this is one of the older ones. This is my older pack. The newer one actually has really nice, like water pockets on the side, like some more buckles and straps. But yeah, 150
So,
bucks. You get a
Coach,
matching sweatsuit.
if we already have most of that stuff, and we only need to order a couple of things, can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. We could piece together an order for you, Dale. Just let me know what individual items we need, and then I
Okay.
can get my vendor to just quote me just an invoice for just the individual ones.
Okay.
I just know that the travel package, you know, the uniform package for any of
Yeah.
our new
Yep.
folks, for anyone who wants to join the team and get that bundle,
Yep.
150 bucks gets you absolutely everything.
Okay.
So, having said that, great question, Dale. Parents, if you guys want one of those hooded sweatshirts or something like that with your athlete's name on the back, because they are custom sublimated, printed, and everything, I can get you guys a price for one of the sweatshirts or something like that, so that if you want to show some support or wear something to support your athlete, that way you have something. I can most definitely accommodate that. Just let me know if that's something that you folks are interested in.
I got mine
So,
too.
as far as other costs go, there really aren't any until it comes time to go do the dance. So $200, you're on the team practicing for the whole entire season, but you don't have a uniform to go play. For 350, you're on the team for the whole season. You've got all the travel swag, you've got everything in the world, and then you're kind of just waiting for that first big tournament, right? Okay. That's where the costs and fees come into play. So that season ending tournament in July, there's no cost, there's no fees with that, guys. So for some of you Maine athletes that are like, I don't know if I want to go out of state and play, man, but like I really would just love this competition. I want to be a part of something. I'd love to maybe do that tournament at the end of the year, maybe hit a few of those one-on-one tournaments. You could be in and out for 350. You can get season dues, you can get your uniform package. You won't have to go travel out of state or doing that. And then you play in that nice season finale tournament at the end of the year with us and you're part of the program. You know what I mean? But if your kid is seeking that elite premier experience, going out of state, playing in the pylon tournaments, there will be some other costs and fees. And those are just what it costs for them to go and play. I'm not marking up my time, my coaching, my labor, none of that. Like I'm not upcharging you folks at all. Like for them to go and play, it's just what it costs for them to go and play, and I'm riding with them. So any of the costs and fees that are involved with that. So if we go and play in a pylon tournament, I'm going to say, hey guys, this is the tournament we've chosen. How many are committed? And of all those athletes that are committed, we split the tournament fees betwixt that many athletes. And then it's lodging. We split that between all those athletes. And then it's the travel. If parents are bringing an athlete down, no, you don't need to pay us for travel expenses. You've got that figured out clearly. Thank you very much. You got room for another. You need some gas money. Let me help you. You know what I mean? Then it starts to become a team effort and just making it work. And then some of those athletes whose parents are like, see you, bye, go have fun, yeah, we're going to need a little bit of help from you folks to make sure that they get there, right? With a little bit of travel money, some money for their food, for their lodging. But we do everything as a team. So when we have this committed approach, and I know who my guys are, I book, I get the lodging, I do the tournament, I book everything. And then I just send out an invoice to all the parents, and then we get square, and then we go play ball. It's that simple. So I hope this kind of makes sense. I want to stay here for a second because cost is obviously a big one. So that if any parents have questions, I can help to iron this out really quickly. But just a quick review, 200 bucks, you're on the program, you're practicing for the whole season long, you are on the Kings of the North team. For $350, you have all of what I just said there above, plus you now have the full uniform travel package, the bundle, the travel bag, everything. So 350, you've got the whole shebang. And then we're just waiting to find out what it's going to cost us to go and play in this tournament. Any questions on that, just real quick?
Hey Ryan,
Yes,
just a question. Where
of course.
where Mason and CJ already got most of their gear, can
Yeah,
they keep it? Can those numbers be reserved for them so that nobody else gets their number?
absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Unfortunately, and this is a great point. If you have been a king before, you are still a king and your throne remains. So if you have had a number with us from the start, that's your number. And if you're new, you've got to understand that there is a pecking order and that your place is coming. So the reason that that's a great question, everyone, I'm going to make sure that you guys, all that are committed to this program, have a uniform order sheet because I'm going to ask for your athletes' sizes, what they want for a name on the back, and then you're also going to have an opportunity to give me 5 different number requests. First priority, second, third, fourth, and fifth. because I know the guys that have been with me from the start. I'm going to make sure that they get to keep their numbers, and then I'm going to do my best to get everyone a number that they're okay with. That's going to be on me to make sure that that happens. And then, yeah, on that uniform order form as well, that'll be a great place for parents if you guys want to request a little something extra or just order something specific. That's where we can do that because not everyone is going to need the uniform bundle. Some people might just need a few things because they've already been with us before. Good question. Anything else? Okay, fair enough. Expectations. Starters policy. You need to make it to one Kings of the North practice in a monthly period to be eligible for my starting rotation. That's gonna be like, what? It's not even, guys. Some people do travel hockey, some people do travel basketball, some people also playing school basketball, and they're trying to fit us in as well. You all have dreams, you all have aspirations. I'm not gonna ask you to sacrifice any of them for me or us. We have to make it work. We have to make it work. So those that are committed to this and want to be a part of this, I understand if you guys have other commitments. Just know that if you want to be a starter for me, I better see you at one of my Kings of the North practices in a monthly period, or you're not going to start. Like, yes, you'll still play, but you're just not going to start. I can't justify to the guys who have come 4 of the last 4 that you get to start if you didn't make one. You know what I mean? It's like that's a pretty low bar to set. And I can help to kind of justify things because if you play travel sports, if you're invested in other programs, I support that. So this is my way to defend you because I get that you have other things going on, but at least you gave us one practice in a monthly period. Like that's a lot, and we appreciate that. So playing time, any of our athletes that pay their dues, practice, come to practices, and then commit to going and playing with us in a tournament, you will be rewarded with playing time. Guys, what makes this team so special is the sacrifices that you all make for this to work. That's honestly what makes it special. We're not in New York, we're not in New Jersey, we're not in Boston, we're not in the mecca of football where we have the luxury of options and volume, guys. For us to have 12 or 14 kids that are going to travel and play, that is a huge commitment on behalf of those 12 kids and then all those parents. It's artwork to actually make this happen, guys. It's actually artwork. So whenever everyone commits and does this, you're going to play. And I'm going to find a place for you to play and have success. Okay. No one thought that Ashton Duran or Wyatt Weaver could ever be middle linebackers. They both had interceptions at the Pylon tournament in New Jersey at middle linebacker. Okay. And those were the 2 guys on our team that like people were laughing at. And I was like, you just wait. You know what I'm saying? So guys that come and play that are committed, we're going to find a place for them. And I really don't want to hear about it from other guys because guess what? If it weren't for guys like that playing, we wouldn't be able to make this happen. Wouldn't be able to make it happen. So it takes all of us, and guys that are committed to this team will play. Now, starting is a talent thing, and I want to win, but just understand they have to adhere to that policy. And if they haven't made a practice in all month, they're not starting. Okay. Case in point. That's it. Yay, that's it. I'm done talking. Let's just look at some cool pictures of some of the guys from the past strutting their stuff and doing their thing. So these are some of our kings of the past playing some ball at some of the tournaments that we have gone to. So some of the attire, some of the outfits that you see that will likely be gear or fit that you are presented with. So anything that you see some of these guys wearing, if you dig that swag, feel free to mimic and copy. Quarterbacks, go over to Wyatt Weaver, spinning the rock. I have no problem with you guys putting a nice tight, black dry fit underneath and then wearing some black spandex to boot with that under the outfit, to look clean and swaggy with a nice QB hat on top, repping the brand. Like I'll never be upset with that. You know what I mean? And some of the guys wearing your gloves from your home teams, there's pink gloves, there's blue gloves. I don't care what gloves you wear. Just as long as you're donning the Kings of the North outfit, wear your gear. You know what I'm saying? Express yourself. Look at McSorley there flexing with his Pit Vipers and his hot pink Adidas gloves. You know what I mean? You didn't see me tell him, no, don't do that. All of the guys that play for this team get a chance to express themselves and have a unique personality that they maybe don't get to have on their program. Hunter McSorley, that guy in the middle, he played offensive tackle 4 years for Foxcroft Academy. But when he played for Kings of the North, he got a chance to catch touchdowns and do something that he really wanted to do. You know what I mean? But never got a chance to do. So use this travel program, guys, as a chance to work on something. Like, man, I know I do this for my high school team, but I know that I'm a tight end in the college game someday, right? Work with me on tight end stuff. And then when you go back to your team, go take your role, go take your place. You know what I mean? But like use this opportunity in the off season, guys, to work on yourselves, be the best version of yourselves. When I look at all these pictures of these kids, man, they're all chasing something, and I love it. I love it. There's Winthrop, Maine, Bucksport, Maine, Dover, Foxcroft, and Bucksport, and then Orono there, all on the same frame, all chasing after the exact same thing together. That is a beautiful thing. Right now, if you see all those guys, October, November, they're going to be trying to slice each other's throats open. It's for blood, right? Because Maine football is different. But this is a unique time of year where we can all don the Kings of the North outfit, and put Maine on our shoulders and go try and make a name for ourselves. So if some of you guys want to play in college, I implore you to join us. If some of you guys are like, I don't know if I want to do all that, but you want to make some friends, I implore you to join us. If some of you are lacking discipline and commitment in your life, I implore you to join us. So having said that, that's kind of everything I've got, guys, from my PowerPoint presentation there. Is there any questions that I can answer for any of you folks?
I'd just like to say, Coach, that being in this as long as we have, Mike can contest to this. Going to that pylon was one of the best days that we had, and it was something that I think that Mason and CJ really got to look up to and see. Damn, we could play this, we could do this, and eventually we're gonna. And they're still doing their thing. So
Thank you
we're
for
excited.
sharing.
We're
Thank you
excited
for
to do
sharing.
that. Absolutely.
Take that for what it's worth. For those of you that get to be a part of this, there might be young men just like CJ and Mason that have dreams in Maine that can't quite play yet. They're just not quite old enough. It's not their time. You guys are the torch that lights that fire for them and inspires them. And if that does not motivate you to go cure cancer, you're in the wrong Zoom meeting. You know what I mean? Because, like, guys, you have a chance to inspire kids from Maine to go chase the best version of themselves because of this program. So
That's right.
I'd love to
Absolutely.
have you. I'd
Yeah,
love to have
we
every
we
single one of
wouldn't
you.
be where we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for you and your training and what they've got to see throughout that time. That's
Thank you,
just
sir.
plain and simply put.
Well, if there's any questions or anything from you folks, I'm happy to take them. But if you guys want to drop out, you can, and just know that next Wednesday at 6 o'clock is our first practice. And anyone that comes, we're practicing. And then I'll just be trying to collect dues from the parents, as we can. But
Yep.
kids, you just show up and play. I'll focus on dues with parents. If you're interested in playing, you guys have the details.
Now, Ryan, you still there? Nope.
Okay. No
Oh,
problem. Thank you guys.
Yes, I'll be in touch.
No problem. It's good if I see folks dropping out and no questions. That means I did an okay job.
You did. Very good.
I look
Thank
forward to
you.
having practicing a lot, Penny. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Coach, quick question.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring it on.
Are we gonna be in the field house on Wednesday?
Yep, next Wednesday,
Yeah.
6 o'clock at the field house. You got it. If you want to come a
Perfect.
little early, that's totally fine. You can cleat up. You could throw some footballs on the sidelines and whatnot. But the cheerleading does have the turf until 6 o'clock. So